Hi everyone. This weekend was a pretty big weekend for Star Wars Unlimited. It was the pre-release weekend. So it was the first time we've been able to get our hands on actual cards and play them with the community. So with that, we have the first new segment for this channel, which is going to be a review of the pre-release weekend and do an analysis of the cards that I've opened and the thought process behind the deck that I ended up building, and then looking at the actual deck itself. And for this pre-release weekend, I was able to go to 3 separate pre-releases. So there will be 3 reviews within this video. So if you want to jump between the 3 reviews, use the timestamps at the bottom. And first, we're going to start with a review of the actual kit itself. So here we have the kit that everybody got for their pre-release event. In here, we would have the 6 booster packs that we would open, and that's what we would use as our pool. We also had in here a promo Luke and Vader leader that we could use. They're actually right here. And it would come with a deck box that we can store our deck in, a pre-release, a quick start rule booklet, the same as the PDF that we got a few months ago. We got a sheet on how to build a pre-release deck, and a sheet of punch out tokens for damage, epic action, and initiative. All right, so let's take a look at the first pool that I had for the first pre-release event. So I'm going to kind of follow the guide that I put. And so I have here all of my cards divided by color. So we have Vigilance with the Vigilance column. And then, so it'll be 1 color per column. And then the top row is Villainy, the middle row is Heroism, and then the bottom row is neutral cards. So taking a quick look at what we have, let's first look at the rares that we pulled. So this was the first pack, actually. Pulled a bale. Got a red 3. So far we're looking good for a red-green hero deck. And I pulled this security complex. I had no choice. And then here's where things get spicy here. I got a Cunning, I got 2 Fet's Fire Spray, and a Devastator. So immediately I'm thinking, I'd love to build a green-yellow deck. Villainy, right? The problem is, let's take a look at the leaders that we got. Here are the leaders that we have. It's not great. I could not build a yellow-green deck with this, right? And then that's even counting this, which are exactly the same colors, right? So like I didn't pull a Boba, because I would have loved to play Boba green, obviously, with, you know, 2 Fet's Fire Spray. Boba would have been a no-brainer. So there's no Boba, so I can't run Boba green. I didn't pull any green leader like Tarkin, so I can't run Tarkin yellow. So immediately I realized that I really didn't have a good chance of running these 3 cards right here. So I kind of had to like scrap that idea. And seeing as I had pulled, you know, Bale and red 3, and my green heroes were not too bad, actually. So, you know, I got 2 Battlefield Marine, I got Alliance Dispatcher, I got a Rebel Assault, which is not bad. And then, so you can see I pulled a bunch of these mercenary companies. Infantry Vanguards, Consortium Star Viper. So my green was okay. And then the red I had Zeb, Carabast with Spec Force Soldier, and then the red that I had here. You know, I got a few Wampas, Jedi Agitator, Cantina Brawler. Still not a whole lot of units here, as you can see. And you can even see here that, you know, my yellow pool is great. Look at this. Like, I would have... Oh, and I actually forgot to pull this one out. So I actually also got this one as a rare. So, you know, I would have loved to have been able to run this. I don't think I could have made it happen. So we're going to cut now to the actual deck that I built. So here's the deck that I ended up building. As you can see, it's a pretty low curve. Fast Leia deck, as fast as I could make it. You know, we got Bail, we got Red 3. Yeah, the first match was against a Jin deck. I got the win there. And then on round 2 was against a Boba, who also had pulled the Boba unit and a Jabba. So I lost that one. And the third round, I actually forgot what the third round was. But I lost the third round as well. So there you go. Here's the first pre-release deck for Star Wars Unlimited. I think it was okay. It's kind of unfortunate I couldn't build some of the other colors. But this is what we had to go with, and there we go. Let's move on to the second pre-release. Alright, so here we have our second pre-release. So taking a quick look here at our leaders, you're going to see that again, we were very limited. You know, pulling 3 Krennics. I only pulled 1 hero leader. And then another Grand Inquisitor, and I did actually get a Palpatine, which is very nice. But, you know, so again, when it comes to deck building, our options again were pretty limited. I almost feel like this was telling me to build a Krennic, and by the pool, you're going to see that actually Krennic was actually a decent choice. Because you can see here, if we look at our villainy cards, you know, 3 cell block guards is pretty good. TIE Advance, you know, we got some good villainy space units, maximum firepower. So this is a, you know, a nice villainy pile. And then also, if we look at our blue, we have, you know, 2 Death Troopers, and we have Wilderness Fighters, make an opening. And then for green, you know, we have a few copies of Consortium Star Viper. Actually, we have 4 of those, including this Hyperfoil one. And for villainy, we had Blizzard Assault, Admiral Piet. And then if we take a look at the rares, you'll see that we got some pretty good stuff to support this Krennic Green. You know, we got Gideon Hask, Count Dooku, a second Hyperspace Devastator, which was kind of funny, and Energy Conversion Lab. So, you know, at this point, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, Krennic Green is looking decent. And then I got 3 Heroism rares. So, you know, Cassian deck stuff, and then You're My Only Hope, which is, you know, You're My Only Hope. So, and again, I couldn't really run this. Like, if I wanted to run this, I would basically have to run, you know, Chewbacca Red, and that didn't sound like a decent idea to me. So, you know, I also could have, I guess, run Palpatine with a blue base, but I decided to just run Krennic with a ECL, and we'll take a look now what that looked like. All right, so here's the Krennic deck, Krennic ECL deck that we ended up with. You know, we got Gideon Hask over here, we got Count Dooku, and of course the second Devastator, Hyperspace Devastator that we pulled that day. It's kind of crazy. I just want to show off these foils. This Hyperspace TIE Fighter foil is very nice. So, you know, we had a lot of threes, as you can see. So the deck was somewhat consistent because, you know, we had 3 Consortium Star Vipers for healing, 2 Wilderness Fighters, 2 Death Troopers, 3 Cell Block Guard, so a lot of Sentinel. And we also had 3 Corellian Fighters, so I was able to, Freighter, so I was, you know, able to pull those every single game pretty much. Getting Hask with ECL was a pretty good combination. So the first match lost pretty quickly to a very aggressive Sabine deck. Second match was a very close match against a Tarkin, who at one point had like 9 experience tokens on one of his TIE Fighters. I think I was able to finish it off with Dooku, actually. And then I lost that match as well, though. It was very close. And then the third match was against Thrawn. I ended up winning that one. Devastator was pretty good at closing out that game, because both rounds ended up going pretty long, and I was able to just pull Devastator and basically won me the game. So there we go. The Krennic Energy Conversion Lab. Alright, so here's the pool that I got for the third pre-release. As you can see, I finally got a decent spread of leaders over here. I actually have options. Finally pulled a Boba and a Tarkin. So let's take a look at the rares. So we have 3 blue rares, one being Avenger, another one being Search Your Feelings, which is probably not that good in limited, but you know, I thought if I can search for Avenger and hopefully get Avenger out in play, hopefully I can win. And a reason I thought I could do that is because my green over here, you know, I got a Super Laser Technician, and over here I got a Resupply. So my green isn't looking too bad, especially since I got, you know, a green, another green rare. So I'm thinking, you know, blue-green is looking pretty good. I also got decent red. I got some, you know, 2 Ruthless Raiders, Imperial Interceptor is pretty good. And then I also got a bunch of, you know, Red Rebels, Occupier Siege Tank. I got a 2 Mission Briefing. So, you know, I was thinking I could possibly just run Vader green, but then, you know, I would be missing out on playing Avenger, and I kind of really wanted to play Avenger. And another thing with, you know, I got rare Electro Staff. I also pulled, sorry, they're over here. You know, I pulled 2 Guardian of the Wills, and I pulled a bunch of blue upgrades, including this Electro Staff. So I'm thinking, you know, I think my blue pool is pretty good, and then I have, you know, some good ramp green. So with that, I decided to end up trying to play Iden. So I ended up making a Iden Green deck. So let's take a look at that now. And here we have the final deck of the pre-release weekend. We have a Iden Versio Green. So, you know, I was kind of trying to make the Avenger the main win condition. I even put in a Search for Feelings and a Prepare for Takeoff in order to be able to find it. And hopefully, you know, with Iden healing, being able to draw out the game to get to 9 resources, you know, especially with Super Laser Technician, resupply, ramp a little bit, get to 9 as fast as possible. And hopefully just win the game with Avenger. What else do we have here? We have, you know, 2 Guardian of the Wills. So I did end up putting a bit of upgrades, 2 cost upgrades. And So how the rounds went, the first 2 rounds were against Jin. I was able to win both those 2 rounds. And then rounds 3 and 4 were against a Cassian and then a Vader. And both rounds were actually extremely close and actually ran out of time. And because each time I was, behind like 2 or 3 points on damage on the base, I ended up conceding those 2 matches just to prevent the double loss thing. But they were extremely close matches. And overall, I ended up going 10th place in that 3rd tournament out of 24 people. So this was a really fun deck. I really like playing Iden. So there you go. The 3 pre-release events for the first, pre-release weekend for Star Wars Unlimited, the Spark of Rebellion pre-release weekend. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you got something out of seeing my pre-release decks here and the thought process behind building them. Hopefully I can learn a bit from these and have you all comment what you would have done differently down in the comments. I'd love to learn what kind of mistakes I made here with my deck building process. All right, bye.